even though it sounds like it, what I really enjoyed was small businesses. What I really like to get up in the morning for is strategy. How do I get this guy to go from point A to point B? And if they had a tax audit, what's the best way to plan for that tax audit to help them have a no change audit or so on like that? That was the market I should have gone after. I didn't really need to go after the guy who had short forms or so on. I did, but that was part of the market I should have excluded.
So that was a learning.
That was a learning curve.
Okay.
And then going from there, who's your competition? In the tax industry, right now we're going through a lot of changes. There's TurboTax, there's H&R Block. Each one of them has a different market. And oddly enough, everybody's kind of down except the people who do their taxes from home, and that means TurboTax business is up.
Wow, interesting.
And I guess to kind of reiterate, what's unique about your business? You need to think about what makes me different from that other competitor. TurboTax, I can't compete. But I know that if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to come see me. That's the whole thing. If you want your business to go from $1,000 a month to $100,000 a month, you need to come see me. You won't get that out of a book. You won't get that out of a tax program. You need to talk to someone. You need to know what you're going to do.
And also, you know, TurboTax requires a certain amount of tech savvy. You know, if you're not good at using the computer and following those instructions, you won't do very well with that. And you don't want to make any mistakes. You don't want the IRS to come knocking at your door.
That's
so
correct.
The personal touch, meeting with somebody like Anthony, that would be the way to go. And this is a good segue to tell us your info. Contact.
You can contact me at Anthony Sykes or A Sykes at sykesaccounting.com. My website, please go to my website at sykesaccounting.com. View us on YouTube. You can go to us on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at Sykes Accounting.
Wow.
Follow us on Facebook and follow us on LinkedIn. You can reach us at 562-864-2341. What is unique? You know, this show is very unique. And the reason why it is such a good show, the people you have on here, even though maybe they're authors, but they're different authors. They're specialists.
Exactly.
They're known in the field that they do. So that makes you unique. That makes your show good. And because of that, that keeps you in the market that you want to be. Every small business person needs to be able to think like that. They need to understand what's going to make them better than the next guy.
Amen to that.
How soon will it be? How soon will it take before my products are available? That, if it's a service, as soon as you're ready. However, it's a product. Let's say we're making pens. Now, you have to have all your suppliers ready. You have to have warehouse space ready. I had a client come in. He had a miniature table game, and it was made in China. He had a distributor ready, but he didn't have the warehouse space. So when it came in, when it got shipped to America, it sat on the dock.
Oh, wow.
It got damaged, and the whole thing went down the tubes.
Wow.
So he never got out the blocks. One of the things, you have to have all your ducks in a row, so to speak. You need to know, okay, when it's coming in, it's going to go here, it's going to go here, and this is when we're going to open our doors. If you don't, then you will not be successful. Now, how much money? We talked a little bit about that. How much money do I need to get my business set up? It depends. And it depends, one, on the type of business. it depends on how you want to set that business up. If, in the case of services, what I really needed was business cards, some money to go to breakfast, lunch, to meet people. So I didn't necessarily need a lot of money for startup. I needed money for the programs. I needed money to get the continuing ed classes, the seminars that I had to attend in order to be proficient in what I do in order to become the expert that I am. So that came. But if, again, taking my client that had the retail store, the women's clothes, they had enough money to buy their first shipment of clothing and then to get it out to the neighborhood. So they were able to turn some of that inventory, and that worked for them. How long do you have to finance your company before you make a profit? Again, depends on your product, depends on your service. If your product involves a lot of pieces, I had a client who had a dental lab. He ordered, it came in a box of 2,000 pieces, and each piece went into another piece to create these molds that he had to sell. So that was fairly complicated, and if he didn't have a piece, he couldn't make the mold. So he had to make sure he had that, but more importantly, he had to have the financing for that. So for him, it took a little longer to get up and running, and once he did, he went slowly, just for that reason. We should always think about, and money is a big part.
It is.
It is, and you should plan. And one school of thought is that if you think you need $100, triple it and say, I need to plan for $300 because something is always going to go wrong. In mine, I know it did go wrong. The first time I bought a computer, I did not realize, I thought I could go in and make some changes, and unfortunately